of America and planet Earth and into your head. The world of safety never stops. And now, the Safety FM podcast and broadcast with Dr. Jay Allen.
We are streaming live
from the Safety FM Roadshow now.
Okay, here we go. We are coming to you live from the ACFS Safety Day 2021. And I have to tell you, I am so excited because this has been a long time in the making. I know that you've talked about this because I had Sheldon Primus on in person. And finally, I can say I am physically able to touch Sam Goodman here live at ACFS Safety Day 2021. How are you, sir?
I'm doing awesome, man. I'm just pumped to be in the sunny, beautiful FLA, USA, man. This is cool.
So I am so glad that you were able to make it down. We're able to be finally here in person. This is my first event in person, meaning outside of the normal group of people that I hang out with, probably in about a year. How about for you?
Yeah, absolutely the same. Other than just like sneaking off and doing stuff, just normal travel. This is kind of cool too. I never thought I'd say that. It's cool to do work travel stuff.
I'm glad that I was able to sneak you in ahead of time, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to do this, but you haven't even done your presentation that you're doing for the ACFS today. So how are you excited about this? I mean, this is the first event that I've been to that has not been a professional boxing event that has a ring. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think it's super cool, right? I mean, I walk in, I see this gigantic boxing ring. I heard rumors of it, and there it is. So I don't know. I'm a nerd. It's going to be really cool just to be in it. So I want to do like the thing. I want to like run up, climb on the ropes, like beat on my chest, like bounce off either side. But I guess it's boxing, not wrestling. So I don't know.
Well, I was wondering, could you possibly do that? Could you get away with actually standing in the corner? After like somebody wins a belt or something, just kind of doing the pumping thing.
Well, I don't know. I was hoping to get to like throw T-shirts out. It'd be kind of cool.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about a lot. You got a lot going on today. So besides that you have this going on, you have Safety Sucks, the manifesto version coming out today, or actually it came out last night, a little ahead of schedule, which is fantastic. Already trending at number one of new releases. So tell us what's going on different, what it's about for those people that enjoyed the first one, and maybe it's for some of the people that haven't heard of the first one. What is the second one about?
Yeah, so that happened. It came out a little early, which was awesome, as you said.
It's a good problem.
I woke up this morning to discover that it was trending at number one hot new release in a couple of different categories, which is just awesome. Excited to see that. Just kind of made my day. But yeah, so if the first book, if you haven't heard of Safety Sucks, the BS in the safety profession they don't tell you about, it's how we suck at worker safety in general. Right, so it's much wider, and it's a blast. I've got to tell you, I kind of tooting our own horn here a little bit. It's just a fun read too. So for those folks that did dig into the original Safety Sucks, that we like to keep it lighthearted. That we like to take some jabs, and let's say we like to body slam maybe some more traditional safety things, and we do exactly that. And
so let's talk about the difference between the first and second. So you decided to go with a co-author this time,
right?
So why the decision? I mean, and you've put out 3 books at this point prior to this one. Right. So why the co-author?
So Ian and I, number one, just great friends. So, but to kind of expand on that, it's this. Every time we would get together, and we've done a bunch of podcasts together, we've done a bunch of stuff like that, and we've worked professionally together in the past as well. It seems like every time that we hang out and we start down the rabbit hole of talking about safety at work in general or work within the safety profession, we find ourselves in these hour-long conversations and just great stuff. And finally one day, I'm like, we're going to write all this down. And that's kind of what we did, right? We went down this path of actually writing it down, and enjoy. That's really what I can say there. But as far as another reason for the co-author is I get a little wild and out there, and that's a good thing. I'm going to say that's a good thing, at least from my perspective. But Ian is a good kind of, not opposite, but a good grounding effect, and just self-exclaimed, from himself. But so we help to balance each other's ideas out. We help to challenge each other's ideas. We help to, he might pull me a little bit closer to ground and I'll drag him to the sky, right? So it's that dynamic. And I think you'll feel that come through to where you might get a really big wild idea thrown on you. But then we ground that in solid business practice, and we ground that in actual doability.
So here's the question then. Who ends up doing the editing when the manifesto is done?
Both.
Okay, because I was going to say,
back and forth. Yeah.
Because I was like, you own the publisher, so how does that work?
It worked out really well. It worked out really, really well. The one thing that I'll say about the manifesto, and we started out not necessarily with this idea in mind, but it's just kind of, you know, how stuff just kind of magically happens. Every chapter within the manifesto could stand on its own legs. So it flows together. But what was nice, and I say that because it made the editing super easy, is that if you take any particular chapter, you could rip it out of the book, read it, and gain something from it without reading the rest of the book if you want to. So you could flip through the book, pick a chapter, read it. You're going to get something out of it without feeling like you need to read the entire book.
So
Cool.
was this done intentionally?
About halfway through, we switched. Back to ease of editing.
Well, but let's talk about it. I mean, the first book was so excellent, and it really kind of it gave the FU to the industry.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's how it came across, and that was the intent.
Yeah.
With the manifesto, is that kind of still the continuation to what's going?
Somewhat. So to kind of boil that down into something, the way that I've described it to others is that if safety sucks, kind of more of the problem statement, the original book, at least as it relates to the profession. Safety Sucks, the manifesto is at least, I won't say the cure, but it's at least how we can make safety maybe suck a little bit less.
Okay.
Right? So if you have kind of the first book as the problem statement, the second book dives into at least how we can start to fix some of that.
At what point did you come up with the idea for the manifesto? Because I mean, you are one of the most creative people that I know. You're constantly putting out new versions of content. No, let's be realistic. I mean, you've done books, blogs, podcasts. I mean, you even delved into some scary stuff.
Yeah, for sure. You know, the idea, like I said, it was really born out of those conversations. The whole idea for the manifesto is we kind of exactly wanted that, right? We started with the FU. And this is our manifesto moving forward, right? This is how we can make, at the very least, safety suck a little bit less for the people that it's supposed to help, that we forget about so often, right? The fact that this is actually supposed to help people. And then for the folks that actually practice safety, that their life shouldn't be miserable either, right? So that's kind of how we kind of landed on the manifesto side too. Go extreme, because I think that's exactly where we need to go in our industry. So much of what we dive into in the book is about how we have constantly embraced safe, air quotes, safe mediocrity over innovation for so long in our world. And it's literally crippling our companies and quite often crippling our people, right? So it's that, right? It's moving past. We captured the problem. We don't need to continue talking about how much it